This just hold on one. Oh, there it is. I don't know. Maybe my internet's tripping. I'm like, it was,
Yeah, because it kicked me off and then yeah, so
yeah,
I didn't know
it
if it was
took a while
me.
for me to bring y'all over. And then I hit record before I brought you over. And I was like, it didn't say it was recording. So, anyways, hello and welcome everyone. Hi, April. So, Keisha, you're
Hello.
cooking. All right, so let's jump right into it. What are we working on? What do we need support with? We're like, today's Thursday. If anyone's running anything like a sale or anything for this next coming week, any holiday plans, this time of year is really, it can be extremely overwhelming with people or emotional,
Uh-huh.
depending on where you are in your life and what's happening in your life. So I always try to be really careful and like the direction we go in. I don't really want to just like assume that everybody's in the same position or feeling the same way as we approach holiday season. Not all of us even celebrate the holidays, so that's another thing that I take in consideration all the times. So you'll notice when I post things, I like to I might say holiday or I'll say winter. I don't necessarily name a specific holiday because all of us are, we just have an eclectic group, which is awesome. So, having taking all that in consideration, I'm going to allow you all to lead me in the direction of what you need support with and what's happening in your business, home, life, whatever you need. Wherever we can go wherever you want to go.
Okay, I'll go first. um, I am overwhelmed. The holidays do sometimes sneak up on me. I, lost my mom, but it's not new. Sometimes it feels new, but it kind of catches me sometimes off guard. Don't know why, but so I've been trying to pace myself. A lot of good things have happened this week. I got another phone call. I went to the superintendent's meeting I told you about,
Yeah.
and so my aunt has always told me I was born with a veil because I can kind of feel things and see things that other people don't. So that's why sometimes I'm kind of careful with my word choice. Um, so this reverend sat behind me, and then there was a Susan who was a slash Karen who could not agree to the community rules, and she kind of got under my skin. So because I had already made nice with the Reverend, every time I turned around to say something to Susan, all I could do was smile because she was right there in my face. So she had already told me before it got kind of, contentious between Sue Karen and I, um, to call her and to call her. So I already had her card and her information. So then as the night went on, she circles her number and says, call me tomorrow. So ultimately, she told me 3 times to call her during this meeting, 2 hour meeting. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm so scared because usually when things like that happen, not, it's not always a bad thing, but it's usually something,
Right.
a message or something. So she offered me a position to speak to her women at the women's shelter. And she said it's a volunteer, role. I could come as often as I would like to. Um, so I told her, weekends will work better for me because I'm working full time. And she said she would also like for me to speak at her women's conference, which is a paid gig. Um, and that's not until, next year. But she did invite me to do that. So I was excited about that because here
Well,
I'm thinking
I'm
she was getting
showing up
ready
in
to,
the room.
okay, I said, well, here I'm thinking she's getting ready to give me the grandma spank because I was getting ready to go off on Sue Karen, but she was like, and I told her that, and she said, no, you could have. She said because I definitely felt it too. I forget what she said, but
Oh my goodness.
ultimately that's what she was saying, and because I told her, I said I was scared I was going to get in trouble because of how I wanted to respond to her, but she said no, it was definitely God gave her discernment, and it was something in my heart, and she just needed to connect with me. So I was excited about that because that's
That is
you know
amazing. Listen, if that's not confirmation of it's working, right? And I feel like sometimes we tend to look at what we're not doing.
Right, because I still haven't finished everything we talked about. Because
Yeah.
I get stuck and I'll be banging my head against the wall.
And
So
we judge ourselves on, hold on one second, Keisha. I apologize. Did y'all use the regular link, right?
I used the link that was in Heartbeat.
Yeah, that's the same one that's on the calendar. I don't know. I don't know. Give me 1 second. I have lost folks.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm like, they're saying
yeah,
that in the
something is
waiting
up
room,
with it
unless
because
Zoom
it.
is doing something odd, because it says they're saying that she says she's in the waiting room, but I don't see anyone. So
That's why I'm scared to join too early because that's happened before. Remember when LaShawn and I were trying to get in and we
yeah.
were there too early? It seemed like I tried to wait until 6:30.
Um, who did I just lose? I
I
thought
don't
I heard
know.
somebody go off. No, it sounded like, when someone leaves.
Oh, you heard the chimes? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Everyone, just give me 1 second to see. I don't need this agenda. What's today? 16. Okay, here. Yeah, I don't know. That's the same link. I was just making sure that we're on the same link that's in Heartbeat, that's on the calendar. I don't know. Um, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Let me drop it. You know what I'll do is I'll drop it in what's that thing we use? Boxer. So that way that'll just kind of nip it in the bud real quick without me having to waste more of your time. Take more time to.
That is so helpful because I went hunting, but ended up here through Heartbeat.
Okay. Yeah, it should be this, all of these, if you added the mastermind calendar to your calendar, it should sync. That's one thing. Like all these are on the mastermind, like Google Calendar, but also Heartbeat. If you allowed your notifications on Heartbeat, it should jump to your calendar. If you say like what does Heartbeat call it? It calls it like commit or joined or whatever.
It's under the event and it says, yeah, it's under event. So it
Says
says join
confirm.
event. Yeah.
Yes, if you agree to go to the event, it should also jump on your
Every
calendar.
week. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then you'll get the email reminders every week. So that's why I invest in Heartbeat, because it does all these extra things. So that way, there's a lot, it's a high touch experience more so. So anyways, hello everyone. So Keisha, what I was saying is, yeah, I agree with you. I feel like sometimes we highlight all the things that we're not doing because we feel like we have this long list of things we should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
We're not doing them. Sorry. This is Tashanta now. I don't know what's going on.
And she lost outside too?
Yes. I'm like, what is going on?
All your little lambs lost outside today.
Yes. I swear this is the link I shared. Yeah, it's 347.
It worked because I just pressed it and I came right on in.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Because I'm like, you came from Boxer, right? Yeah,
Yeah, that said we are live.
That we're on is the same link that from Boxer. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Anyways. So I just feel like we highlight all the wrong things, right? So while we have these goals and aspirations, and if we didn't have them, we wouldn't be on track. I feel like we tend to focus on those more so than our wins, right? Than the things that are working. So I think Keisha, everything that Keisha is experiencing right now, whereas as soon as like this momentum, I can even go back, Keisha, to the year it took you to finally get your event out the door.
Yep. Because I kept postponing. Yep.
Right. Postponing. It felt embarrassing. It felt yucky. It felt like, ugh. It was like all these emotions.
But I wasn't ready, and it was great when I did it. See?
Yeah. And now you like rose up and to the occasion, but as soon as you started that momentum, you know, like you committed and you were like, yeah, this is what I want. I'm going forward with it and I'll figure it out on the way. Like everything else is just starting to like, it's like the road is being paved for you in front of you and you're still not ready. Technically, if we look at like the strategic plan, right? But you're going to be ready. Like I totally believe that nothing that's on your plate right now or that's laid before you is you're not going to be able to accomplish and do really well too. That's the thing right there, because we can do all the things, but can we do them well?
Right. And that's why I wanted to, you know, postpone. And I guess sometimes I do get my perfectionist voice speaks, and you know, that's the Virgo in me rising up. And I was like, it had to be right, you know, if I put my name on it. And it was a great success, to the point where that's how people are finding out about me. You know, council members and different people. And that's what my aunt told me earlier. She said, in a minute, you're gonna be running for office. I'm like, nope, I'm not. But no.
But you never know. You might change your mind in a year. We'll see. I don't know.
Ooh, no. But
like,
yeah, it's good. It feels good.
But
it's
also,
scary.
I love the fact that you're proving yourself wrong, because we've had several conversations about you being like, I don't feel like I'm ready, or I'm not really sure what to say, or I just need to think it through. And I'm like, you have everything you need. This is literally like, this is what you do. Like, this is all you. Like, who else can do this but you, you know? And then clearly when you show up, you're obviously presenting the exact way that you envisioned or imagined that you would present, which is why it's landing and people are resonating with it and gravitating towards it, you know?
Yeah.
So, I love when we realize that we're better off, that we're closer than what we thought, you know?
Yes, it makes a difference. So, and then I just made up with one of my aunties that's at Treasury. And she said, well, did you get any of the COVID money? And I said, no. And so she said, well, Treasury's not even looking for it. And I said, well, I got $1,000 for my other business, my pre-romance. She said, they gave people $20,000. She was like, and you didn't get anything? And I was like, no. So she's going to look tomorrow when she goes to work and see about how I could get some federal money.
Okay, let's go. I've been sharing
Yeah.
a couple. This is a really big, like, you know, a lot of grants that are, you know, people, this is a good time. And I meant to say this week to you all. I shared a couple of grants over the last week or so inside the broadcast Voxer. And a lot of organizations, they need to get rid of their money. So they're like, who needs money? You know, like, so they're less, you know, uptight, or, you know, you know, they're kind of loosening the purse a little bit because they need to offboard some things and meet their own KPIs. So this is a good time to take a risk and try. And worst case scenario, you learned how to respond to these to the requests for the, you know, to the applications. You learn how to respond and using your strategic plan. And once you do it the first time, it's literally copy and paste. In that first intro paragraph, or that what would you do with this money, or why this grant, or whatever, that one, those few little paragraphs are the only things that really change. But your brand is your brand. You know, you are who you are. Your mission, values, all those things are going to be consistent. So that's copy and paste. Shashan said it's intimidating when I see grant opportunities. Tell me why. Tell me more.
Well, first
imposter
of all,
syndrome.
yeah, and it's like, why am I good enough to just get free money? You know what I'm saying? Even with the nonprofit, even with the other things and stuff like that, it's like, why? And then not knowing if I could present it well enough to be awarded.
So, a couple things. Tell me why you don't think you're good enough to be awarded, or because we can attach this to you as a person, or we can attach this to the brand that you've worked so hard and invested so much money in building. Either one. Why are you or your business, your brand, your kids' brands not good enough?
Because we may not be ready as far as what they need and what they expect.
Okay. Does anybody else feel that way?
I used to, especially, you know, like you said, a year ago, I wasn't ready for anything. And I've gotten a few grants now. And like one of the people I met in the county along the way. He said, yeah, just apply for everything. And my aunt just told me the same thing. She said, you should have applied for it. They gave away $20,000 literally if you had an EIN and, you know, business registered. And they're not looking for it. And yeah, so she said, just apply for everything. And the man told me, you know, the more they see your name, the more they'll familiarize themselves with you and you'll get something. And that's true. They have started to give something. I don't always get awarded the full thing, but I've gotten little pieces here and there.
Love it. Nicole's ready to tell you. What you got, Nicole?
No, I'm just saying I'm scared too, but after our powwow, how you the same thing that you just mentioned, it's kind of like once you get that first one down, then it's just copy and paste, copy and paste. And I don't know why I'm scared business wise, because that's the strategy. Even when I think back to high school, how I got money to go to school for free, like what do we call it? The refund check. Like I went to school based off of scholarship money, and it was that same essay that I wrote, and I went to every college fair or state fair or whatever, and I used that, you know, stuff with my cousins now coming along, just applying for everything off of that one essay. It's I don't know why I'm afraid to do it. I've already done it, but you're right.
Yeah.
But okay, yeah.
We just have to do it. We just have to do it. And I almost I don't really know where I got where I was like the audacity or the strength or like the who the hell do I think I am? But I just remember feeling like and this is how I felt about my child. And then, so I'm in what I'm about to share is about my child, but I'm in a new phase, whereas I feel in alignment with what you all are saying, where it's like when it's for yourself, that's when you have the self-doubt. So for me with Xandra, I applied for everything because I was like, you can't tell me my kid's not amazing, right? So Nicole's like, yes, right? Like you can't tell me that she's not the next whatever, or you can't tell me that she's not the anomaly. So our part of our mission, or like our core values, is like that no means nothing to us. Like it's if it doesn't say, and I've said this from the stage for years, the rule we had, the only one rule was if it didn't say no Xandra's allowed, that meant we could apply for everything. So while I shot the shot 100% of the time, it was always 100%. I stuck the landing on about 85%. Those are pretty good damn odds. So it's like, imagine if I didn't even try, but it got easier. So like, as soon as like, for example, I'm doing this consulting work with y'all know I work for the Foundry with the kids entrepreneurship programming and all those things. I'm a part and sitting in these meetings where they're applying for grants. It's literally, I mean, these are $1 million organizations, right? They're managing millions of dollars budgets, is what I'm saying, as nonprofits. You don't just start there. The Foundry's been there for 10 years. So they're like a pillar in our community, but still, I'm looking at the same strategic plan that was there 5 years ago. The same, it's literally copy and paste. So we're no different. But we have to do the work to do that. That initial like hard piece is that foundational piece of like all the things we've been talking about. And then it's copy and paste from there. And then once you detach, and this is a thing that we all have to really, you know, build the muscle for, is detaching our emotions from our business goals. Mm-hmm. And because if it doesn't work, right, we feel like we're not missing the mark, or like we feel self-confident, we feel I would say loser for like lack of a better, more eloquent phrasing at the moment. But then when it does work, we still feel like we shouldn't have. It's like, I can't believe they said my name. So it's like, no matter what, we against ourselves, right? Like Keisha's out here winning and she's still like, but, and it ain't no but, right? So it's like, we have to be bold enough and we have to detach ourselves from the outcome. We just have to stick to the plan, look at the goal and say, I said I was going to apply for 5 things this quarter. This is number 3, let's go. Like our feelings, the fear, the emotion, the what ifs, it's like, no, because I just have to do it. As if the same energy we would give to our 9 to 5, 7 to 3, 3 to 11, whatever the hell time you work. The same energy we would give to that person who's signing our check is the same energy we need to give to our own family business, our own child's business, our own dream, our own next level. It's the same energy. And it feels like, I believe it should be a non-negotiable. So if we attack it with that level of audacity and energy, it becomes less scary because it's like, I ain't got no choice. I gotta go for it because I can't go back. You know what I mean? So it's like, you've already done the work, Shashan. You've already invested the money. You got 2 little kids, 4 little eyes looking at you like, what we gonna do? So you gotta take the leap. You just gotta do it. And in regards to you saying you don't feel like you're ready, that's why a lot of the grants I share are for startups. There's a wave going across the United States, like the nation, where finally they are recognizing us as the broke bootstrapping solopreneur, the broke bootstrapping parentpreneur, right? They're finally starting to realize that our kids might need some support, or we might need some support, whether we have a job and we're killing it, or we have a job and we're struggling, we still need some support. And that support looks like more than access to a webinar, right? It looks like cash money so that we can actually have the same level of access or opportunity as our counterparts. So we need to take advantage of that. That's why if you're on the newsletter for like Hello Alice or any of these other Stacy's, any of these other, Black Women Talk Tech peak places that are like heavily looking and literally recycling the same grants. A lot of these grants, they're recycling. And if I share one or you see one and you click on it and it says deadline expired or the deadline is like 3 days from now and you're like, put it on your calendar and say, okay, so if today is November 16th and the deadline for this one is November 20th, so let me go ahead and make sure that around November, so it's September, October, around October 15th of next year, I put this link on my calendar so I can apply a month before this day next year. Y'all get what I'm saying? So you have to kind of put those systems in place so that way you're not losing out or missing out, because what they're doing is they're going to keep putting it out until the money runs out, but the money's not going to run out because they're going to keep getting the money. So they're going to just keep looking for more entrepreneurs. Everyone can't get the same reward. You only get it once. So if I got it last year, Keisha gets it this year, April gets it next year, and then we just keep passing the information around. That's how it should work. That's how I imagine it working. But we need some of you to at least apply and be the first person to get it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we help each other through it. I've written enough grants now at this point. Really, I've been sat in the rooms with a lot of them. I've looked at strategic plans for years. So I can absolutely support you through the process. I mean, if this is a real thing and if you all could like say like, okay, we're targeting this many grants like in the Q1, or we all want to try to hit send on one or something like that, I can bring in an expert to walk us through it. Because again, I'm not an expert. It's not my area of expertise. I've done it. I can advise you. I can walk you through a process. I can help you obviously with your strategic plan. But if that's something y'all want to do, just let me know and I can bring someone in to support us. But we want to be able to like already have some grants on our radar and really look at the qualifications, open up the application, even if it makes your stomach hurt, and start to look at like, okay, it's asking for these things. I don't even know what that is. Like, what's a capability statement? What's a this? What's a that? So that way we can kind of compile what we're missing. So then we can ask those specific questions and find the right person to guide us to, get those specific answers. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
So you will never talk to me and tell me that you're afraid or scared or overwhelmed or I don't know and I'm stuck, and I not tell you what the hell, do it anyways. I'll guide you through it in a more elegant way. I will always be gentle and understanding and respectful of your feelings, but we're going to do it anyways. Okay. So don't vox me if you want me to help you back out of something, because that's not who I am. Unless it's just a poor business decision or it's not in alignment with your brand. Hey, everyone that just joined, we just got on this conversation about grants and applying for funding and money. Keisha's having a kick-ass quarter. Has all these amazing opportunities. And Keisha, I feel like we need to like celebrate the fact that she just got invited to do like a series of talks and a paid speaking engagement for 2024. Boom.
Congratulations. You said
Yep.
2024. All right, next year
Thank
already.
you.
Yeah. She already
I
got
know.
notified for a paid
Congratulations.
gig for next year.
Yes, and I'm not even a public speaker. Like,
Oh, yes, you are.
You ready? You
Yes,
ready? And you got time to
I'm going to be
continue
ready.
get
Look.
ready.
Any Black mama that has gone to advocate for their child in any room in the world is a public speaker. Stop playing.
Public speaker.
You know what I'm saying? Because we know how to get it
Yeah.
together in the car and be like, okay, we know these people in here, they be looking like this and they be acting like this and they gonna expect me to this and they ain't gonna do this. You walk yourself through the process. That's the getting together stage. Then you walk
That's right.
in and you nail it. Right? So yes. Hey, Tashanta.
Thank you, everybody. And yes, Tashanta, yeah, it was actually a reverend that had me scared to death, that invited me to her work at her shelter and her women's panel, her conference.
Yeah, that's amazing. I'm excited for you. This is the beginning. And so we take that one. So this is how the seed starts to sprout, right? We take the one thing, the one opportunity, paid, not paid. I don't care if the speaking engagement, if that panel is in somebody's church basement and the pipes are leaking and, you know, we don't even know. We're going to take a selfie in the bathroom. We're going to find a cute angle. You're going to dress up all nice and you're going to pull it together. And it's going to, everybody on social media is going to be like, Keisha is what? Keisha was out here doing that.
But yeah, because there's more.
Like,
but we have to talk through that because the program that the rec center called, not the one that we've been working on, but I told you they called about something else. They want me to implement a program in my area.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was something different, but we should talk through that before I respond to her.
Yeah. So, but my biggest thing with me and you, Keisha, is I need you to, I need to see that 14-week program, ma'am.
With the curriculum. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm gonna write it out.
You already have it. It's just
I know. I think it's just okay. All right. I'm gonna write it out.
I mean, yes, you got it.
It just feels like if I write it out, I have to commit to that. I can't stray from it.
Exactly. Right. It's like I'm pregnant. Now what? At some point you're gonna have to
right. You're gonna have to. Okay. All right. That makes sense.
This 14-week pregnancy, you're gonna have to push at some point because what we gonna do?
Okay.
Again, you have to go forward because you cannot go back.
That's right.
You cannot.
Oh, and I'm gonna celebrate one more thing. We were selected to participate in the MLK Community Day of Service next year too.
Yeah.
We had to apply for that too. Yeah. So.
See.
I'm done. I'm not applying for nothing else right now.
Right. Well, we just gotta. Well, I think that's smart because it's just like it doesn't stop the momentum. It just gives you an opportunity to breathe and build systems around the opportunities you already have. So then when you go apply for the new things, it's less scary because it's like, oh, I already did that, right? So you can have all these poles in the water and already know that how to watch them and you'll know what to do when they move.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Exciting.
Right.
And we get to see Sasha's cute little daughter on the screen.
Oh,
Like little Sasha. Okay. Who else? Hot seat, working through stuff. What are we doing? What's happening? I started this conversation talking about holiday, winter, and how I'm always really careful around this time. I don't come at you with like, we're only going to talk about Black Friday. We're only going to talk about a Christmas or a holiday or Thanksgiving, because first of all, some of us don't like the holidays. Some of us aren't in love with the holidays. Some of us feel a certain way during the holidays. Some of us don't celebrate the holidays. So I, as I mentioned in the beginning of the call, this is a very eclectic group. So I will always respect that. But so therefore I will follow your lead. So whoever wants to unmute, let's do it.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
The application fees. I know you sent one that has the application fee. usually when applying for grants, I stay away from those, but because you sent it, it's kind of like you vouching for it. So is it okay, like when we come across things like those, that we kind of maybe send it to you to, you know what I mean? Because
Oh,
I
of course,
don't feel
absolutely.
comfortable. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
because I
Got
do
you.
research on them, and usually if it's not connected to an organization, but yeah, typically, yeah. And what was it? Like, was it $15, $25? How much was it?
This one was $15, but
Okay.
because I don't usually do it, I'm just trying to say like, hey,
Yeah.
maybe your eye is better in picking out which ones are scams and which ones are
Yeah,
real.
and that one, and usually typically the ones I share are ones that we have already gotten money from. So I
Gotcha.
know, like, I'm on their email list. So it could have been 5 years from now, or excuse me, 5 years ago or years ago. And then I'm on their email list. So they're like, hey, this is what, and they always will do that to keep you in the loop, not so for you to apply again, but for you to share it with your community. And then also, some I find if I'm in a mastermind, just like you guys are in this mastermind, and they would have applied for something that, for women in business or something like that. I'm just connected to a lot of different organizations, and I'm it's just on my radar. So my email's loaded with just different opportunities. So I always read through them, just so you all know. And I look, and if it's like, oh, women in business that live in Colorado, I'm like, oh, none of them live in Colorado. So I don't even share anything that I don't think at least one or two of you would qualify for, and that hasn't already been vetted. So thanks for saying that. Yeah, because I usually look through them. And then if I don't, and it came from a trusted source, it's very, very slim chances that I do that often. I don't do that often, but I'll say, make sure you read. I'll give you some kind of disclaimer or warning, if I didn't already vet it.
Gotcha.
But usually, I promise you all, if anytime I've shared any grant with you, and I think I've said this to you all, is like, there's no reason why any of you would not qualify for this. Like, I read them in detail. I look at the qualifications, I look at the deadlines, I look at the deliverable, like all the, requirements. I look at all of that before I share it with you. So hopefully that helps, and it inspires some of you to actually click on the links and be like, this weekend or this day, whatever day is your day, I'm going to work on applying for this. All of us have a small business here in this room. So all of us should at least 2024, all of us should at least get, if you're not going to do it before the end of the year, should get at least $1,000 from somewhere. I'm letting like that be like the rock bottom. And that's not even if you have a nonprofit. That's a whole different thing. You can get money as your business. And then, and this is grants. We're not even talking about pitching and other opportunities, So what else we got? How's everybody feeling? I talked about that a little bit in the beginning too, about just the feelings, everyone's feelings around this time of year. Hey, Reese.
Of course, I'm always feeling tired when I'm on this call because of the time of day. But I'm in a way, I don't want to say homesick, but I'm homesick, y'all. So Ari and I are gonna take a trip. Well, it's 2 for 1. I have a layover in Miami. I was selected National Alliance of Black School Educator, another Distinguished Educator of the Year award. And that's happening the end of December. I couldn't get the time away from work to go for a week because remember, I came to work like a month and a half late. So I didn't want to be greedy. So I'm just going for the award ceremony, literally with a long layover in Miami, just so I could hug my mom and my dad. I'm a big girl. I'm just homesick. I don't know. I just need to see my family, I guess. I don't know. I talk to them every day. But yeah. And it's the holidays and I didn't really intend to be going back home. So yeah. So I'll miss Thanksgiving. And I'll miss Christmas, but I get to see them for a few hours while I go to get the award in New Orleans.
Yes. Well,
kind of
so first, Nicole, can you do me a favor? Can you tell us all that you're getting whatever you're getting and why you're getting it and what's it called? Can you just put that all in one sentence? Because you kind of just said it, but it was like, yeah, and they're doing this thing, and I just have to fly there for it. Like,
So
I
it's
just
the
would like
national.
own this opportunity, this amazing award.
It's the National Alliance of Black School Educators, and I was nominated and selected as a distinguished educator. I want to say about 2 years ago. I was the Mary McLeod Bethune, 2021 Teacher of the Year. So this year, this award is for your leadership in education, not just as an educator, but outside of your classroom. So leadership in education. And the things that I'm doing in STEM, because like I'm over here now abroad, kind of like building this STEAM program here. So I think, I don't know who selected me or nominated me or whatever. I think I'll find that out that evening of the ceremony. But yeah, I wasn't going to go, but I needed kind of like to build myself up to keep going. So yeah.
Well,
just continue to keep us lifted in prayer, though. It's different, but it's good, but it's different at the same time. And I'm just trying to work through it. And smile.
Well, we're here to support you. We're definitely here to support you. Look at the chat. They're congratulating you. Congratulations. That's a big deal. I'm super excited for you.
Thank you.
And you should celebrate yourself, and you should be celebrated. And I'm also really excited that you get to see your family.
Yes. Thank you.
It's a long way to be, far away, you know what I mean? And to be starting over and like everything be brand new, it's that's not easy, Nicole. So
no, it's not. Congratulations, Nicole. I'm sorry, my hands are I'm cooking, but I wanted to say congratulations. I couldn't text.
Appreciate
and when you get homesick, you can call me at night. I'm up most nights, sadly.
I'm a big crybaby, y'all. It's better for me to go to sleep. I get too emotional and choked up. So yeah, I'm trying to work through that. It's a part of the healing process too. Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. Tashonda said, seriously, she's up.
Oh yes, the 3 hours difference. Yes.
Keisha, you be up all night?
This menopause or whatever got me hot and sleepless. It's bad.
Oh my goodness. You got to go see Dr. Reese. She got something to help you with that.
She won't see me, Azaria. She referred us out. I tried.
Oh my
She did try. I apologize. I'm not accepting new patients.
I know that's right, Reese. Reese like, I'm full. That's good. Booked and busy. Let's go. This is good. All right. So who's next? We talked to Nicole about her award. We were sharing wins. So those of you that came in, we were sharing wins. We talked about grant opportunities, some of the opportunities I shared in the chat. We kind of addressed some of the mindset around that and fear and feelings that come up when we see opportunities and we're kind of like, we don't apply or reach for them. Hopefully all of us feel a little bit more, you feel a little closer to feeling like we maybe can. And then Nicole was sharing with us. We were also covering wins and stuff. So who else is next? Anybody have anything they want to work through?
I'll share.
Yes,
I'm working on these grant applications as we speak.
Okay,
my
tell
page is
us
up.
more.
No, just what you just said, just the ones that you sent.
Yeah, Reese, but what we were talking about before you came on is that everyone sees them and everyone's afraid to even try. So the fact that you're like, I'm doing it, oh yeah, that's a big deal. That's why I'm like, tell us more. Tell us what that feels like. You see it and you're like, what happens? Walk me through that process.
I just feel like, why not? Like there's nothing to lose, so I'm gonna type up all my stuff, send in all my videos and links, and hope for the best.
Thank you. Good.
Yeah.
So we can all feel. I feel like I appreciate you sharing that, because then it sounds like you're like, oh, so that's that whole like detaching from the outcome. Why not? Let me just, yeah. So hopefully, I feel like you're helping people in the room. Thank you for sharing that. So go ahead. So you're working on grants. What else you got?
I've been focused on my bravest littles. 2 snaps is taking a break. But yes, working on that. I got my website up and figured out how to do my lead magnet. I just have to wash my hair so I can do my video. And
You wrote the
I read
video?
what'd you say?
You wrote the script for the video?
Yes, and I shared it with you on Google Docs.
I didn't respond?
No. Does that mean I didn't share it right?
No.
I'll check.
Yeah, check for me because I didn't see it. But I know we were talking in Voxer.
Yeah.
Okay, I see you sent me something before our call.
It was just asking if you saw it, but maybe I didn't share it.
Yeah, okay. So I did go look for it. I remember.
Okay. So I have, yes, I
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
worked on the script, ready to record after I wash my hair this weekend. And it will be up on my site as a pop-up. And I've also sent out several messages letting people within the field know that I'm here and what I'm working on. I have a meeting next week with somebody who, somebody on my job, somebody at the hospital that I work at, that's like a leader in the field of pediatric palliative care research, and trying to get just guidance from her on like how to get my course approved so that nurses who take it can get continuing education credits and whatever other guidance feedback she has. And then also I just learned about like just trying to weigh the pros and cons of how much help I want from hospital resources, because then they would want to put their name on it. So, which, they could further the reach, and that would be amazing. But what does that mean? Like giving up part of
Hey,
my
I'm sorry,
project?
Reese. Hands are still dirty, but I don't want to forget. Email. Can you reach out after this meeting? I may have something for you too.
Okay. I'll text you. Thank you. Yeah, that's what's going on over here.
Well, it sounds like momentum, more momentum, and I'm happy to have these conversations with you surrounded around the bravest littles, because I feel like we as parent managers can get kind of stuck in forgetting about ourselves, and what we want to do and what our, like this course that's been kind of just sitting. It's like you did the work. Now we just need to sell it. Now we need to, expose it and let people know that you're here so that you can actually start working towards your next level as well. So I'm really excited about this. And I mean, shout out to the weekends, the CEO weekend, right? Like finishing the email. Reese was like, take a look at this, done. Take a look at this, done. I was like, okay, girl. So yes. And so tell us a little bit about what that felt like to have that time to yourself, and just what was it like?
Oh, fabulous. And I realize now absolutely necessary and needs to be scheduled regularly, like quarterly even.
Yeah.
Just not having, and like me and my friend that I went with talked about, could we just do it at home? Because she lives with me now. That's the side story, but could we have just like stayed home and just focused? And the answer is no. So yes, being out of the house, not having to worry about absolutely anything else, not having to feed anybody or remember to take the clothes out the wash and put them in the dryer or whatever. And just focus was so beneficial. And even the plan that I had changed, like literally, like I got there, sat down and was like, I think I should do something different. And switched everything up and it was fine. Like it worked out. I didn't my plan changed and I got a lot done and it felt great.
Good, good. I like it. So question at the end. So what did you go? You went, was it Saturday, Sunday? What was the
Friday,
time?
Saturday, Sunday.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So on Sunday, did you feel any angst or stress or pressure because you were like, because of you looking at the list and like what was your feelings on Sunday as you were getting ready to go home?
I felt like, so my original plan was to just check off all the small things, which is a long list of small things. But last minute decided I'm going to tackle this one huge thing instead, which is create this website and get this lead magnet up as my pop-up. And so by like, really by Saturday night, I had accomplished that already. So Sunday, when I went back to look at my like checklist of small things, they like really were so small and just easy. And even some of them like accomplished, like within the big project, the little things got checked off without me even kind of really realizing it. So it was great. We were supposed to stay till like later in the afternoon on Sunday, but at like 10, I was like, let's go home.
I
It was,
love that. That is
yeah.
excellent. So I'm asking this question specifically to support the other members in the room because I think it's important to understand other people's journeys. And I remember before this, when we were on a call, before you actually went on and you told us that you were going for this CEO time, we talked about not overloading that list and like, you know, clarifying your expectations and giving yourself grace because I wanted it to be exactly what you just explained. So thank you for sharing that. I love that. And we, even in our last session with the kids, we did the pep rally. We talked about doing the hard, I believe it was the pep rally. We talked about doing the hard thing first.
Yes.
So the thing that we don't like, the one thing that's like, ugh, it's like whenever that time of day where when you start, whenever you know, it's like some of us like get inspired. Like me, my brain just wakes up at midnight sometimes. And it's like, whoa, you know, whereas like 9 a.m. I'm like distracted. So like you have to understand where your most creative time blocks are. And then you start with the hard thing first. And then after the whole idea behind that is that the other things that you were looking at, this pages of like scrolling list, they're supposed to show up like you just said, like now they're easy because I did the hard thing first. So thanks for sharing that. That's exactly how it was supposed to work.
Yeah, it was perfect.
Patrice says, that's dope, Reese. I need to take a page from your book. We all do. So I think it's really important for us as we listen to what Reese did and how much further along she is. I feel like if we really commit to it, we all can figure out a way to make this happen. And I've used this example before, and it's not the most, you know, gentle and loving example, but it's real. And the realness sounds like if one of us got sick, right? If one of our children was ill or any other thing that, you know, God forbid, it's like, oh my goodness, like any other thing that you can think of that would stop you in your track and sit you down, you wouldn't be doing all the things that you're telling me that you have to do, which is why you can't do what you say you want to do. Y'all got that? So why not just, while everyone's well and things are well and you're in your most, you know, it's subjective, sane mind and body, schedule the time, give yourself give yourself permission to put you on your calendar and just take the time. Now all of us can take 3 full days, maybe, but maybe you can take a half a day where you turn off the ringer and you let everyone know around you, like, this is what this looks like. You know, oh, the kids have a birthday party this weekend. Great. I'm going to take a bath and I'm getting to work. Well, I'm going to do whatever and I'm getting to work, whatever that looks like for you. So just consider it. just think about it, because we all know that there are times when we thought that everything else, everything that we had to do was so freaking important. And then that thing happened and you didn't touch it for 3 weeks or 2 weeks or 4 days or whatever anyways. So, and it's like that, what they say, did you die though? It's like, no, no one died. We still, everything kept going, right? So just think about that. Absolutely, Keisha. And I was thinking about that with you committing to those. I think you can commit to the same way you commit to a staycation for your mental health. You can add one on for your CEO, or you can combine it, you know, especially if you're doing multiple days. Consider it. So it's going to look different for all of us, but just consider it. And I think it's really important, even if it's just for the mental health. You all know, I talked to you about when I went to York for 2 weeks. I was gone for 2 weeks away from the crazy. It was like, I didn't even know what to do with myself for the first 3 days because I couldn't believe I was actually alone. Like, I was like, what's gonna happen? Like, so I probably would have been in a different mindset, Reese, if I knew I only had the 3 days. But the fact that I was like, I got 12 more days of this. You know what I mean? It was just so odd. And like, I had to get over the guilt, and I felt bad about picking vegetables. I felt odd clipping flowers. I felt really weird sleeping past 7 a.m. It was just like, but it was all in my head, you know. But finally, I think it was like maybe day 8 or 9. I had a conversation with Ashanta on the phone, and I was like, I'm doing great. Even like people anymore. It was like, I don't know anybody, you know. And she was like, okay, because you was dying for like the first 7 days. Because I was like trying to figure it out, like, what does it look like to only consider myself? Like, when's the last time you thought about that? Like, what would it look like to only consider yourself? You know, it's like, whoa, what do you mean? And I'm like, hardcore consider yourself. Like, look at the phone and be like, nope. Look at the calendar and be like, nope. Kids, baby crying, nope. So, all right, who else wants to share or needs our support? I don't know who is working on holiday, Black Friday, what we're doing. Shashan, I know we were kind of talking through what's happening. Can you fill me in on where you are with the challenge? And Patrice, you're here. Can you tell us? Well, I'd love to hear you tell us about your challenge. I think it's important for us to share the good, the bad, the ugly. Because there's somebody in here that's like thinking of doing what you're doing because you did it, and now they're inspired and they're like really afraid of whether or not they can do it. So anything you can share would be great. I don't know if Patrice and Shashan are here.
Yeah, I'm just driving down the highway.
Are you safe? Can you talk?
Yes. Can you hear me? I don't want it to break up and not like this.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
Okay, so what I'm working on now is the challenge. I have to get an update from the participants and just to see how they are doing in the second week of the challenge. I know when you and I spoke on last week, we were trying to figure out what I was going to do after the challenge, and you was mentioning a couple of things, and I was pushing back like, no, I can't do that because it's like when I have to talk to people, I don't know what to say. So I don't want to be in a position where I got to teach people and do webinars and this, that, and the other. But I thought about it like, well, I could just do a course, and it's more like a guided journal, right? So I can just make it in the course format. So that's what I've been working on. I am creating the journal writing course. The first one will be like an 8-lesson how to get started, and then just break it down of how you can journal and pull in everything together. And that way I could just create multiple, just take from the guided journals and put them into a course and just sell the courses. So I'm working on that, as well as day 2 of the retreat. I got to start day 2.
I love it. I love it. That is awesome. I mean, you think people buy audio courses, people buy podcasts, courses all the time, all just there's so many different things, the way people engage with content. So I love it. Also you have access to Irresistify inside the portal. There's a tab, I think it might be under bonuses, and it says Irresistify, and in there is Offer Cure. It's actually comes from my coach personally. And it is in a phenomenal like walkthrough of like how to develop that offer and how to put the course together. There's a couple of things in there that I think could support you. Just don't get all bogged down by it, but just to look and see, like take, I say as with everything, take what you need and leave the rest. But that is in there. If it should be helpful.
Okay, and what's the name of it again?
It's called Irresistify inside the portal.
Okay.
And also, and in there is also like slide templates, and like, so if you were to do slides in the course or to share, it's a lead magnet templates are in there as well. So if you wanted to give them a guided something, I know this is what you do, but if you wanted to look at, there's like 20 different pre-designed templates in there that you might, you know, they say lead magnet, but you could use them for a workbook or anything like that. So there's a couple things in there that could probably shorten the workload for you.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, cool. So I love the idea of the course. Let's so we're gonna release one course initially, Shashan, at the end, and that's what's gonna be the offer at the end.
Yes, actually, I want to do 3 because one, I want to do it just for beginners, and that can be my lead magnet. That one is going to be free. It's short to the point and just giving you ideas on how to start journaling. And then the next one is going to be the 30-day journal writing challenge. So you completed the introduction to journaling. Then you do the 30-day journal writing challenge that we're doing now.
Uh-oh, I lost you. Can you hear me? All right, we lost
Everything that I did now and put into what the 30-day journal writing challenge.
Shashan, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, so the second one, well, it went a little weird. You said the second one is more like the 30-day journal writing challenge, and what's the third one?
The third one would be what like after this particular 30-day journal writing challenge, because the 30-day journal writing challenge is going to be what we're doing now.
Right,
So
that's what I was going to ask. So what's that third one called?
That one is going to be just an extension of self-discovery. And it's going to get more in detail and just give them, like, if they finished it, they completed it, and now they want something more, then they're going to be able to do that one. And that one's like maybe it should take about 90 days.
Okay, so I want to see what the format for the framework for that one looks like, because I want to make sure, I just want to see what it looks like. And also, I feel, so how long, what's the time? Because what I'm trying to get to is this third one is what I want you to start teasing. So the journal writing, you're in week 3, it's 4 weeks, right?
Yes.
So I would love for you to be prepared by the end of week 3 to start teasing out that there's a next level.
Okay.
So that's why I'm asking these questions. So even if you don't have the course completed, if you have the framework for the course, the deliverables, objectives, outcomes, like some kind of like, you know, like the benefits, features, those kind of things of the course, you can start to tease it out. You can build a page for it and be like, get on the wait list, or you could, you know, start talking about what it is and the price point, and just like casually. So that way you're not like, by the way, you ended this, this is for sale. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want that. You want to just, because of you're really committed to this like ease and flow of your marketing, and which I like. It doesn't necessarily need to be a launch experience. It's just also the next level looks like. And if those of you that will stick with me through those of you in the next level, you'll experience, you know, this, if you love this, you'll love, you know, if you like this, you'll love that, you know. So it's like random casual conversation about what your, you know, their next 90 days after this 30 could look like. So you're kind of like, you know, pre-selling it without being salesy.
Okay, that makes sense.
What's going to happen is they're going to be like, what is that? how do I learn about that? I'm doing this, but I want to do that. We always want to be higher than where we're already sitting. Even if we're like, it's the same reason it's the way we're at a restaurant. We got the best plate of food, but every time they walk by with food, we're like, oh, right. So we always want to know what else they got. So we need to start teasing that out. If ideally, like I said, it'll be like week 3, since we're doing it in 4-week blocks. I'm thinking in 4-week blocks, but if we have it by week 4, that'd be great, because you need some time to, while you still have this captive audience. You don't want to end the challenge and then be like, oh yeah, come back and look at what I got, you know? So just think about that when you think about your time frame, your timeline.
Okay.
All right, cool. Keisha's back. April, how are you doing?
Frustrated.
Oh no, Sasha's here. I see Sasha now. Go ahead, April. What'd you say?
Frustrated.
Tell me more.
I'm still trying to source the lip gloss. Like, I'm finding a lot of cute things like on Fair and on Etsy that does bulk, but like the packaging. I took your advice and I emailed the person I found on Fair, but I found out Fair doesn't allow you to email sellers unless you buy something. So I went through her Etsy shop. I haven't heard back. So I'm like, I'm finding things, but it's not in the cute kids packaging. So I finally, I found one silverish glitter lip gloss in a plain tube, like you can just put a sticker on. It's just one of those, like, remember the old-fashioned Vaseline tubes? The Vaseline tubes, it was in a tube like that.
With the round?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So
tell me about the lip gloss that Janaya had on in Young Mobile Prep School call on Monday. What was that?
Oh, that's the one we have from China.
I thought you didn't like it.
No, the one with the glitter we didn't like. The clear is fine, but the cost for that tube right there is like $4.50. So
that doesn't include the shipping. It's $4.50.
Right. That's just like for the first 50, if I remember, is $4.50 per unit.
Really? That feels high to me. Tashanta, does that feel high to you? Sasha, does that feel high to you? It feels high to me.
Yeah, so I'm like, that's not much of a markup.
Like 0.15 milliliters or something like
that is high, but also I've recognized for me over the years going on to something like Alibaba, I feel like their minimums have been raised, or you're gonna pay a high price for like a less like a
say Sasha, say that last piece again, because it was messing up. You said you're gonna pay a high price for like
a couple items. So for like when I look for packaging, I agree. It's like 500 pieces or 1,000. It's not like 100.
Yeah. April, what site are you looking at?
Right now I'm just trying to find something. Right now I'm just looking on Fair. I'm looking on Etsy.
No, we got it from China. Which website did you go to? Was it Alibaba, AliExpress?
No. It wasn't either one of those. It was a cosmetic company.
Okay.
It was a true cosmetics company. AQ, I think it was AQ.
Okay. I think they were on a spreadsheet maybe. Okay. I thought you were going through more of like a mass site like Alibaba or AliExpress.
Well, I did order something from, what was it? I think Temu, just to try that, because I seen like this one product on different sites. And I did order one of those and put it on. Janai put it on the coloring. They only had one color left I can order, so I ordered the one color they had left, and that wasn't a good color for us. So if I do something, I want something that's going to match be good for the masses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
So
don't know if I would order cosmetic do private label through Temu. I don't know why. I just don't feel like I would want to do that. I just feel like no. I don't know. Tashanta, you shake your head. What are you thinking? You agree? Or it
agree.
might be.
I haven't even ordered from Temu. It's something about Temu I don't like.
Mm-hmm. But I just feel like because they offer so many things, and even if and while we can compare it to Alibaba and AliExpress because they offer so many things, typically Alibaba, AliExpress, or any website similar, when you speak to a store or the vendor, that's the only thing they do. So they source, it's almost like a fair where it has all the vendors, it's just as the home base where they have their storefront. But Temu is Temu. So I don't know where their stuff is coming from. You know what I mean?
Right. They're
So
trying to be the next Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. So it's different. Like they're not like if you buy lip gloss from Temu, you can't talk to the person that made it and go see their manufacturing facility. Any place I've ordered from on Alibaba or AliExpress, which I haven't ordered a ton of things in like the last couple of years, but you can go and look at pictures and see their warehouse and actually speak to the chemists or whatever, you know what I mean? So they just have a small storefront, but they're already, that's their business is only doing that one thing. You know, they only make cosmetics. They only make, you know, low short jars or Boston round, you know, jars or whatever. So bottles. So yeah, so April, you know, this is the hardest part. This product development piece is the hardest piece. And you've actually come a long way. I know it doesn't feel like it because it's not like ready to sell yet, but this is the hardest lift in this process. Ordering labels, brand board, all the other things, those are easier. So what I would recommend is while you're in this phase and you feel like you don't have much momentum and you're still doing your research, I would recommend that you work on you get closer to like, oh, look at the other things that are needed. So what I'm going to do to support you is I already started building you a roadmap, but I want to, I'm going to support you with helping you with some of your research to see what else I can find. And I'll reach out to some of the other makers that I'm connected to see if I can, you know, see if there's something that we haven't discovered yet. And, or if there's any lip gloss small businesses that also do it now that we determined that we're okay with a small business. And I'm going to build you that's where I was thinking, Tashanta, when Shashan said, make your own. April, I'm just reading the chat.
I've seen this packaging or this being sold on the different sites I've been looking at. I guess I could do something like this. Like I like it that at the point, like I've seen like the tubes to put in. I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to order from Amazon. Like I found some, like it's cheaper from like trying to get it from the manufacturer, but like I email a couple, there's like we do wholesale, we sell like 1,000 or 2,000, and I'm not trying to buy 100 just yet. So
yeah, no. So if that's the route, we have to have a different conversation because now I have to connect you to different vendors that actually offer packaging. So like between me, Tashanta, Sasha, we can find the packaging that you need or support you with different vendors that actually will sell packaging that you need. And then you can buy 24 or you can buy 50 or you can buy 5.
Well, I've seen some on Amazon or on Etsy.
Right. But that's not where we shop. We don't shop on Etsy. Sasha, go ahead.
So I'm thinking, and price wise, this might not be the most ideal suggestion, but when I was in that stage of development, I would use companies like Wholesale Supplies Plus. Right. So they have like, you know, even I still buy containers from them, but when I just started, I used to buy pre-made bases and things like that, or maybe Bulk Apothecary that has pre-made stuff, but then you have to you customize it, use labeling. So there are different levels of it, but it might not come at the price point that you'd like, but it's still a great starting point. And then as you scale up, you can have more options. They're also like relatively not local, but regional. And so like if you need something, like I'm gonna order containers because they just re-upped on containers for a show that I have on the 25th. You know what I'm saying? So there is that kind of like, as you're working your stuff out in terms of time and resources, those are usually good options. Those are two I'd suggest.
Okay, thank you. I just Googled them, and the one Tashanta put in, I opened that link up also. So I guess I'll start looking at this. If you can send me what you were talking about for the packaging, because I was just gonna try to get something off of Amazon. Because everything else I'm finding it's
I mean, you could get something from Amazon to do your product testing. Like if you're just doing, you're like, oh, I just need something in 2 days because this weekend we're gonna be in the lab, our kitchen, playing around with things. That's fine. But I would never advise you to build a business with ordering anything from Amazon. Because for one, the price point, when you do the numbers, you're going to be paying more than you would pay anywhere else. So and really, even if you're ordering it, if you order something that Wholesale Supplies Plus or Essential Depot is selling on Amazon, they're selling it at a higher price than if you go through their regular website. So we need to build those numbers. So that's why I'm saying it's a whole different conversation. We start talking about your COGS when you make something in-house or versus when you outsource and you're private labeling, something. Yeah, I do like industry specific. So everything. So this is why I said you got experts in the room. That's why I'm so happy that Tashanta and Sasha are stepped up to talk about this, because it's a whole different world. But April, know that we got you. We can support you. So if you have questions, ask in Voxer. This is what they do. Like,
okay.
This
Well, it
is
seems
what
like
I do, or this is what my child does. But I know enough about managing Xandra to be able to support you through this process, clearly, or you wouldn't be here, right? But you also have two other perspectives here from seasoned makers, formulators. Like these two women are beasts at what they do. So they know they know the shit. So I'm just saying,
I know
right?
it seems like I may have to go this route, buying the pre-made, because I don't think I'm going to find something like I can buy already made. Because I've already emailed like 2 different people who does private labeling, and I still haven't heard back.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's start looking at it. Let's start looking at different lip gloss packaging suppliers that have lower minimums, but you want to get it from an actual supplier. You know what I mean? So there's this, I can support you through that process. I already started looking at a couple, but they're out there.
Oh, thank you. 'Cause I've been up like till 11 o'clock every day, just looking, searching everywhere.
So pretty much anything. So like what I just search on Amazon, because Amazon is so user friendly. Like I do research on Amazon. So I go through Amazon and look at what I like or what I'm looking for, the style maybe, or even on Alibaba or AliExpress, look for that style. Even if I'm not going to order from it, it's like, okay, what's the look and feel we're going for? Then I take those same words and then I drop it into Google. Or I take whatever is in the description that's very, very clear about what sets this just packaging apart from anything else that makes me like it, octagon shaped, 14-inch tall, whatever those details are. And I drop that in Google and to bring up any other company that sells that same thing or something similar.
Okay.
Yeah, Sasha said the good thing, industry specific companies, the good thing is you can buy one thing from these companies for testing, from some of them for testing. So yeah, so there's a lot of, so now your search is gonna read differently when you write it in, right? So now we're looking for lip gloss containers, kid-friendly lip gloss containers, teen-friendly lip gloss containers. You know what I mean? So,
like I found some cute containers, but like I'm asking these people who do private labeling, can I send them the containers to put the product in? Instead of just using one of their plain containers.
Well, you're going to get a yes. You're going to find some places that will do it, but it's not, but I understand that you have this tight timeline. So somewhere we have to give. So either we give in the timeline or we sacrifice in style and exactly what we want. You know what I mean? So You didn't ask me what I would do, but I'm just saying, you see me like trying to
Actually, I'm ready just to forget about this. I want to get started because Janai's inside. I want to keep this going since we already went to the showroom. So I want to get started
right.
and
So
and then maybe go
I
back
mean,
and
we're talking about lip balm containers. I'm looking at Alibaba right now. They have, you could get 100 pieces, but they're 50 cents a piece. This one, you minimum order is 20 pieces. You can find what you're looking for here, but I know
oh
it's
no,
gonna
oh
be
I
different.
have. I've seen a lot on here. That's why I just was trying to contact seller to see if I can send them
Right.
my containers to fill with their product.
Right. So that's what I was saying. So we're going back and forth between you manufacturing and you outsourcing or someone else manufacturing. But the other thing you can consider is you might be able to find someone that sells the lip gloss base, like I think TBK might sell it already done, so you don't have to mix it. That's what the first link to Shanta did, and then you fill it yourself at home. So there's layers to this, right? So it's like we can hire someone, pay someone, whatever dollars amount to, and they send us the lip balm and it's already done, labeled and perfect. That costs you the most money. You'll probably make $2-3 off each tube, depending on your price point, maybe $2, right? But you didn't do any of the work. So your cost is really the back end stuff, setting up the website. So your job is really just to market it, and then you just order another case every other month, right? Or we say, we're going to go ahead and get in this kitchen and we're going to learn how to facilitate, formulate lip balm, and we're going to make it from scratch. We're going to do it like the hardcore, crazy Tamara Zandra way, right? You're going to do it the Sasha, the Tashanta way. So that's possible too. But there's a lot of stuff involved. You got product testing, we got to do microbial testing. There's like all kinds of stuff that goes along in formulating your own products. Or we say, we're going to go to TKB, whatever, and we're going to buy their pre-made base. Maybe we feel confident enough to add sparkles to their base. Maybe we can do something, special to their base, like add a scent or whatever, maybe eventually. But right now, we're just going to buy the base that we squeeze into these tubes that we get from Alibaba or on Amazon or wherever. And we're going to buy our labels, and that's it. So that's like the hybrid. That's the in-between. You don't have to be a formulator. So it's like you make the least having it all done for you. You make the most doing it yourself. It's the same thing as going out to eat. You make spaghetti at home, you save money. You get spaghetti out at the fancy restaurant, you spend the most money. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like,
I'm going to look at the TKB line website right now.
okay. And Shashan sent a picture. Oh, she said she made these for her niece with TKB trading. See? Shashan's showing up expert to Shashan. We got this. We got you, April. This is all a part of the process. We've all gone through it. I'm going through this process right now with Xandra. We are building a whole new Xandra line for the second time. And it is hard. It is hard. I can't tell you how many arguments we've had just this week about how hard it is. I'm looking at my child like, girl, if you don't. So between that, go ahead, Sasha.
I was gonna say, also, like, it might be a little bit harder work on the back end, but one of the things that people always ask me at events that they're willing to invest in is that you made it, because that they literally ask up front. So if you're not gonna make it, there's no problem with that, but make sure you have like whatever your pitch is ready, right? But if you say, oh, we made it, or whatever the thing is, whatever your special sauce is that you're going to put into it, like that's what's going to get them to buy or really invest. Like, people are really invested. They ask my daughter all the time, oh, do you make this? Mm-hmm. And they want to have some type of reason to buy in, whatever that reason is. So even if you like melted it, colored it, and whatever your story is, like, there is still value in that. You could put a couple extra dollars because people are willing to spend on that.
Come on, Sasha.
Okay. I will look into this. I'll look into
it's me. I'm people.
Keisha's people. So my question, April, do you feel any better?
I do, because I feel like I just kept running around like for 3 days. I'm like, I'm pushing myself. Because I don't start any of this until everybody in the house goes to bed.
Mhm.
So that's like after 8 o'clock for me until like 11 o'clock.
Right. I understand. I remember those days. So here's what I want to ask everyone. Is it okay if I give you all permission to press the green button on Voxer and ask for help? April, Shashan, Keisha, Reese, Nicole, and Sasha, Tashanta. Is it okay?
Yeah, I
Sure.
think I do. Look,
I don't. It's hard for me to ask for help.
Don't say I need help.
I'm gonna get better with it. I'm gonna get better with it because I said it all the time. I be right there in people's face, and sometimes I just need to hear your voice, so you tell me just go. But I'm trying to get better with it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I'm so used to trying to figure it out on my own.
no, this is not why you investing here. That's not what this is about. This is, if you want to figure it out on your own, then you don't need to be here. I mean, it sounds terrible. It sounds probably,
No, that's true. No, you're
but
right.
that's
I
the
have
bottom
people.
line is you're investing in this community. You're investing in my guidance. You're investing in coaching. You're investing in the fact that you're connected to all these makers on this call that have already done what you're trying to do.
Yes.
And so, like, if we can shorten the timeline and that's what we're all investing in, let's get it. And don't call it help. Call it whatever you want. Just wake up in the morning and press go and just say whatever happened yesterday. Or say whatever happened. If press it at night when everybody goes to sleep at 11. And whenever people, when they turn their notifications on in the morning, they'll respond. Whenever you need to press the button, just share what happened today or whatever. Just, like, change the way you're looking at it. So it doesn't feel like, if I press this green button, it means I need something or I'm needy or I didn't figure it out or whatever. We just got to do it. I just want you all to do it, please.
and don't feel needy because there's a rock of us. Somebody's going to answer. It's a lot of us. So it's not always going to be the same person.
Yeah, we're passing this around. Your time is coming. Everyone's time is coming. So that's what makes it so beautiful. You know what I mean? Because you never know when you're going to have to lean on the next person. So, and with I don't even really want you thinking about that. I just want you to think about right now and what you need. And if 5 of us need something immediately, then we'll work through that too. Shashan, yes. Instead of asking for help, let's say run it by the team. Let me run it by the team. I like that. See, that's a mindset shift right there. That's why Shashan be out here journaling. She got the good ideas. I love it. All right. How are you all feeling? I feel like some of us got beat up a little bit tonight. Are we feeling okay? Sasha, is that a new hand or old hand?
Old hand.
Old hand. Okay. How are you all feeling? I'm gonna ask again. I asked last time. Nobody said anything. Overall, I mean, Nicole shared a little bit. Keisha shared a little bit in the beginning.
I'm feeling okay. I think I'm getting better at learning to pace myself and not, if it didn't get done, it didn't get done, right? And so the next thing's around the corner, so I'm right on time for the next thing, and I'll learn from whatever this thing is, and just keep it moving.
Y'all are dropping the gems tonight. I love that.
Progress, not perfect.
I love that, Sasha. She said, I'm right on time for the next thing. Shashan said she's feeling okay. This is hard work, you guys. This is the tough part, right? We're not always going to be here. It's so funny. Every time I talk to Taquin, I think I was having this conversation with Tashanta last week, maybe. And it's like, I remember the conversations I used to have with Taquin and how painful, like, a lot of the things that she was working on was. And now she is like the pay, like the level, like every round goes higher, right? So now the problems is what they say, more money, more problems. It's like more success, more problems, more whatever, more problems. So it's like the problems are different. And I can say to her now, like, remember when we were like, you were like agonizing over this one thing, right? How to send that email or how to post on social. And now it's just like, we all got to start, and we all start somewhere different, and that's okay. But it's still a start. So, and I want us to remember, and I talked to Keisha about this in the beginning, like we have to remember to celebrate every little teensy tiny step. Even if it doesn't look like what you thought it was going to look like, so what? You're still here. Life is great. We can still say one thing is awesome, right? Because we can still say one thing is awesome. So let's just keep moving forward and ask for help. Or like Shashan said, run it by the team. I like that, Shashan. We're going to say that from now on. All right, friends. If you need me, Vox me, Reese. I did some digging. James had hid your thing, which is why he filed it, and he made a file called Mastermind Review or something. I was like, what the heck is this? So filed it in my email. So I had to actually search for you. So yeah, so that's why I put the audit thing, but I got you, and I will review it, and I'll get right back to you.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. All right, friends, have an amazing evening. I'll talk to y'all later.